Well, hello and welcome. Well, I just got done making this. This is it was a candle holder that I broke. I'll explain that in a minute when I get on with the video. But it's cedar and resin and more cedar. And I think it turned out really nice. I used Total Boat thick set. Now, the term thick set is sort of misleading. You know, you think it sits up thick. Well, it does, but what that really means is that you don't have to do multiple pours because it's super thin and it sits up real slow so it doesn't generate that heat. I mean, it takes like, 10, 12 hours to sit up really good. So it doesn't generate that heat, plus being so thin, it just gets into everything. I mean, I put it in a pressure pot and it soaked into this cedar like, maybe a half inch from where it was full. All went into the wood that you can see down in here. You can see it's in all that cedar, which really, that's a blessing. Okay, there you are. Now let me show you how I made it. And I used the little beaver a whole lot, so pay attention to it. And if you decide you want one, contact me at woodwhirler@gmail.com and I'll put you in touch with the guy that sells them. Hello folks, I'm only going to be able to work this afternoon because we've got to get ready to head for deer camp. Deer camp, first day of gun season open Saturday, and I plan on being there. So anyway, here's the deal. You want to know how to get in trouble with your wife? It's pretty simple. Just break something she really likes. All we got here is her favorite candle holder thingamajigger. And what we got here is what's left of this. So, you know how to make her happy again? Make her something even prettier. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm keeping that so I can get the shape. What I'm going to do, you can see it over there. Over there. Let me move this right. Okay, hold on. There you go. See it over there on the bandsaw? That's a piece of cedar. Now what I'm going to do with that, come down here to this little drawing. And don't worry guys, I'm not going to give up my day job to become an artist. Okay, what I'm going to do is take that cedar and I'm going to cut it like this right here. Top and the bottom and in the center, and it's going to, I'm going to cut this off. This is my mold, and it's going to go in here. Now the plan is, and you know about that in plans, they're subject to change on the fly, is I'm going to cut some strips of cedar, and I'll tell you why in a second, and I'm going to put those, I'm going to glue those in here like this, all the way around just like that, see? Strips of cedar all the way around it, and they're going to be maybe 1/8 inch thick or something like that. Something this big, you have got to have some sort of reinforcement because resin all by itself has no strength. It has to have a binder of some sort. That's why fiberglass resin has to have the cloth and so forth. So if I took and made something resin only, this big around, this tall, and all the way around here, and turned it down to that right there, and got it thin like I want it, probably 1/8 to 1/4, the slice little thing would break it. So you need these in here. Plus, I sort of wanted to get her something. See how this has got. See how this has sort of a pattern. I thought about doing, trying to make it crosswise, but I think I'll just do the angle thing to give it a twist look, and the resin is going to be a maroon to sort of match that. That's why I chose cedar, because it's good red cedar, and I think they will really complement each other. So I'm going to go over there and start whacking that cedar up, and I'm going to make this in a few minutes, and I'll bring you along with me. Now I know some of you guys saying, boy, what a waste of some fine cedar, but like I've said before, getting wood is not a problem for me. 'Cause I own some woods, plus a good friend of mine owns a sawmill. So that's a zero problem, so don't bother me like it would some guys. Anyway, here's the deal. It's semi-round. And I'm gonna cut it off at like 7.5 inches right here, and this is a piece I'm gonna use to make my plug lip bottom, whatever you wanna call it. So, made these a long time ago. Anytime you cut something round, one there, and one there, and it will not rock and roll on you. So let's cut this in two. All right, let's stop before you touch it. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there's some pretty stuff in it. Isn't that pretty? Smells good too, but I'm gonna tell you something about that smell. It smells good for about 3 minutes. So I'm ready to put this into the round. That's all I'm gonna do first. And I will be using the little beaver. I went ahead and put the deflector back on at sort of an angle. It's supposed to deflect the, all your chips off to the side. We'll see how well it works. And I'm going to be wearing my trimmed face shield, because this smell gets to you after a while. So let's get on with it. This is 17 inches in circumference, so I'm going to just put them 1 inch apart, and I'm going to slant them at, I don't even know what angle, but I'll start them all the same thing. There you go, there you go. So I'm going to make every one of them 6 inches long. I need 17 pieces, 6 inches long. Let's see, that's going to be a problem there. Hold on a minute, I got to figure this out. Got them all cut. What I'm doing is taking a little bit of thick CA on one side right here, like so. This happens to be Star Bond thick. And then I'll take a little bit of accelerator. I'll put it right where I think it belongs. Get it almost down, get underneath it with that, and then slam her down. And that should stick. And we're going to do the next one, and the next one, and the next one. That's how it's done. So when I get her done, I'll bring you back. Left over. Sometimes that happens. All right. I always get some of that on my fingers. I don't care how hard I try not to. All right. Some of them ain't quite as symmetrical as others. But I don't think that really gonna matter much. It's the reason I'm not a segment guy, because I ain't no good at that kind of stuff. You'll never see me do segmented stuff, because it would be a total disaster. Guy needs to know his limits. Perfecto. And there's enough room to even pour the resin in. All right, for this project, I'm going to use some Total Bolt Fix Set right here. There it is, and it's a 3-to-1 mix. Get this out of the way. Now, wouldn't you know it, the only color I wanted for this was maroon, and of all these colors, there seem to be no maroons. So I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to try a little bit of red right there. Guess I need to get 2 sticks for this. Let's see what this looks like. Might have to add some more to it. Alright, that ain't very red, is it? No, it looks more pink. I already sprayed the inside of my mold with mold release. I don't think so, maybe never mind, because it's got a lip down there. It's going to stop it from coming out, so I know it's got to be cut off anyway. So I guess I just wasted the mold release. I don't know if it's ready or not, but I am. So I'm going to do like I always do. I like to just pour it in first. Just like that. And I'll just put that in there to drain. So I like to do it like this, and then I like to put this in. Like so, see? And that way I know it's going to get in all them nooks and crannies in the bottom. Well, I can see right now I may have to do this a couple more times. So let's see what we're going to do here. Get back to that 3, 1, and 1, and 1. Now that, my friends, is a hodgepodge of colors. All right, it's in there. I'm going to close it up and run it up to 50 psi, and we'll see it tomorrow. I got it out of the pressure pot and out of the mold. Well, I had trouble with the pressure pot. I think I was tightening it too much. It kept leaking, so I kept emptying it and redoing it and everything. Evidently, it slid and got a little sideways, and it did that kind of stuff. Plus, it looks like it wasn't leaking. It looks like, you know, the wood absorbed a whole bunch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this face plate off, and I'm going to take it to a bandsaw and just cut it right there and find me a new center, because this is plenty tall still. I can still do that, and it'll have a little different kind of top than I planned, but you know what? They never work out. Look at how pretty that is. I mean, isn't that beautiful? My gosh, I didn't realize that. I mean, I just kept pouring different colors and crap in it because I didn't have the maroon I really wanted. But I think this may end up being better. If I was Irish, I'd say the luck of the Irish, but I'm not. Scottish. All right, so let me get on with that. I'll get that cut off, and we'll find a new center and put it back on. And then we'll put on the lace, and we'll see what we got. I've got the faceplate on it now. Had a hard time getting it centered, and finally, I came to the realization that this isn't round. It's oblong, or whatever you want to call it. So that made it difficult. I still can't get over how pretty that is. Look at it. Look at that. Maybe that's a good way to do it. Not the color I wanted, but I think it'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a round cutter, just a regular round cutter, not a negative rake one. I think my negative rake one's a little dull. It's off a little, but I can live with that. I'll get it there in a minute. See what this sucker looks like. You see now there's no chipping whatsoever. So we're going to take her down some more. I put the negative rake cutter back on. I guess this will be the real test, because it is chipping even at that fast speed. It's not chipping a whole lot, but right in here, it may be because it's jumping off that wood. I don't know. And a little bit right there. It's not satisfactory, and I know I don't have any voids in it. So let's just let's try this and see. Well, girls, I reckon I was wrong. That don't happen very often, but I'm man enough to admit it. That negative rake is doing a much better job. That's all I needed right there. Did I chip any out? Nope, I don't know what that noise was. I think I got too loose right there on my wrist. All right, we're done. Let's get to almost has a green look, doesn't it? Got all kinds of pretty colors in it. All right, buddy, she gonna like that. Well, I got 3 coats of Minwax sealer on it, each one sanded and Scotch brighted. Nice and smooth. It looks pretty good already. I'm getting ready to put some Axe sanding paste on it, and I'm going to use a Scotch pad to do it. I've done this once before and it works real well. I did then anyway. You just never know. This time I did it, I got a better shine this way than all the OB shine juice and wax and everything put together. So you just never know from time to time. Epoxy's sort of fickle. It really depends on how set up it is. It really takes epoxy a good week to really set up. All right, so now I'm going to, nice and slow, don't stay in one place very long. Do this a little while to get her worked in good. I'm going to put the fast build on real quick. I want to see if I can get a little more out of it. I like that noise. Ain't that pretty. All right, that's it. I'll be out of town for like 4 days. Hey, Brandy. So I'm just going to leave it right there. I don't reckon it's going nowhere. Well, I'm back from the deer woods. While I was sitting up there on the stand watching the leaves fall, I decided that I'm going to make some changes to this because I really cut this wrong. I just mimicked the old one that came off, and what I really should have done was made it to where it fit just inside here and followed this contour. I think it would have looked better. Like so, if you see what I'm talking about, I believe it would have looked better if it came out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of cedar and need to cut it in 2 anyway to make 2 bowl slabs. But I'm going to cut it on, about ½ inch on each side of the pith and use that slab in the center to make me a cedar piece to go on here. And also I probably will put a ring on top. You guys know how I like my rings. A cedar ring and a cedar base that will fit exactly into here and glue to that. I think it'll look neat. So I'm going to take this to the bandsaw and we'll get on with it, even if it is cold in here. I've got my epoxy heating up. I keep it in the refrigerator. It's in the old hot water right now. But while that's doing that, before I mix it, I'll take a real rough piece of sandpaper and I'll do the bottom of this, and you can see here I've got a pencil mark. So that's where this is going to sit here. I got my center point on that side. So I want to rough this up really good over here. Like I said before, it has to have something to grip to. If you just put it on something smooth, it doesn't really get that adhesion it needs. As soon as that epoxy gets warm enough to work, I'll come back and we'll glue that on. That'll be all I'm going to do for today out here. It's This is Central Arkansas, and we're having a very unusual cold spell. It was 15 degrees Fahrenheit here this morning. And I could heat this area, but it just would take too much propane. So it'll warm up in a day or so. It'll get back to our normal, which is probably 35 or 40. So I'm gonna do that and set it up for tonight, and I'll come back tomorrow and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I probably will put a tenon on the bottom of this, and then I'll shape this to fit inside the stand, and we'll see what it looks like. Well, it's been 1 week today since I touched this thing. I'm gonna use a beaver. Yeah, that was almost too easy. I'm going to leave those wormholes and just put a little CA in them. No, I'm not even going to put any CA in them. There's no sense in it because it'll just make a stain around them. But I like it the way it is right there, except I was sort of debating on one little thing. I think I will, just to show you guys how to do it. I think I'm going to put a burn line right here on the edge, right there. And I'm going to show you a new way, or not a new way, a different way to put a burn line in. Move the camera over here. Anytime you do a burn line, just back up just for grins. You gotta have a little groove. Okay? Just a little one. You don't have to be very big. I'm going to use this little diamond thingamajigger here. I'll just do a little one right here. Right, there you go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stirring stick, popsicle stick, and put it right in here like this, okay? And you can make it as wide as you want. See that? Yeah, I got it all sanded and all everything. And I picked up this Scotch pad, and I forgot that I used it with the actual face. So I guess I got a head start on my face. So that's how come it's dark looking. So I might as well proceed. And that's nothing but raw cedar there. I guess I'm going to keep one of these aside just for that. Oh, Betsy. That's something, ain't it? It actually looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to use this big Forester bit to put a hole in, and so I'm just taking a diamond card, and you want to come in here on the back side just like this, hold it flat, and just hit it a little bit. And you want to do both of these flats. Don't try to do it this way. It's important that you hold it flat though. I have to take any burrs off, and just, if you'll do that just about every time you use it, it really won't ever get dull. All right, I'm ready to start hauling this thing out. First up, I put it's not really a bowl saver, but it's Save Your Bowl attachment in here. What it is, it's a Jacob's chuck on a live center with a rod in it, and I just slide it in a ways, and I keep it there for a while. But the reason I do is in case it comes off here, the bowl won't go down and hit the ways or you or something and break. It's just sort of a safeguard. Makes you feel a little better. You can turn a little faster when you first start. And I've got slow belt on. I'm going to be turning at 1 grand to start off with. Once I hit this epoxy, I'm probably going to put the fast belt on. This epoxy now is 10 days old. And if you know anything about resins and epoxies, the older they are, the harder they get to a point. And so then they are actually getting pretty brittle. So I'm hoping it doesn't do that. Now this top of this right here, see, it's sort of rough, Well, I'm not going to try to turn on top right here. I'm just going to take the disc sander and rotate it and you know, grind these down, because I'm afraid that whenever I hit this epoxy and then the cedar will be softer, you know, one after the other, I'm going to end up chipping out some epoxy, and that, my friends, would be hard to fix. So let's get the dust blown out of my face shield and close the drawer so we don't fill up with shavings. Okay, well, I found the problem. It was, of course, my fault as usual. I put the worm screw into the wood first and butted it all the way, and then it wouldn't let the worm screw fit in the slots in the chuck. I made it tighten on it, but it wouldn't fit in the slots, so I had to back the worm screw out. I took it out, put some CA glue in the threads, and put it back. Here's your little thing you need to buy if you ain't got one. That is a filter wrench. If I hadn't had that, I don't know how they got that slick thing off that worm screw. This does it, and it doesn't mar it or mark it or nothing, so, and it grips. I keep it over by the drill press for holding things when I'm turning it, but it really worked for this. It's a filter wrench. You can buy them at, you know, almost anywhere. All right, let's zoom you back in and see if we can't get this ball rolling a little better this time. There you go. Seems like I didn't get my negative rate scraper very sharp because it didn't work. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I'll try it again in a little while. What am I doing? I don't know. Here we are. Turn it up. Really don't know what's going on in there too much. I know I'm not bringing out a bunch of resin yet, so I'm pretty close. I'm telling you, getting close because the color outside changed. In other words, I can see the light through it. Okay, what I'm going to use is 30-minute epoxy, because I don't have any more of a two-ton epoxy. I need to buy some. And I will be mixing some in the bottom of a can, as usual. And I'll put some resin in. And unfortunately, I just have to sort of guess. But, you know, it works out pretty good. You can sort of tell. Like that much. And I generally just set them up side by side so I can compare the level when I'm done. And if they're not level, then I pour a little more of the one that's on the high side. My finger and get it off so it ain't home. All right, that ought to get it. And I come in and cheer like this. Try to move everything out of the way. Got my dot on the back side. Come in here like that. Take the two. Squidgy them together like this just to make absolutely sure. The amount of pressure I put on is not great. You do it where it doesn't turn. And I generally just take my finger like that. Well, it's the next day. It's actually afternoon. I meant to get busy this morning, but I got involved watching all that political junk on TV, you know, all that impeachment stuff. It's intriguing, to say the least. All right, so what I'm going to do, you know, this is all good and set up now. I'm going to go ahead and just square it up, round it up first, and then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with a parting tool, right about here, and you know, take the center out. So then I can work my lip however I decide, which hasn't been done yet. So I'm going to whirl this thing up to about $1 grand. And I'm going to be using the little beaver. Way out here like this, it seems to want to jump around on you a little bit. It's good and dry now. So I'm going to put some Axe sanding paste on it. Now with my fingers. I haven't done anything but the last coat now, because I'm going to use a Scotch-Brite pad and hopefully it'll, you know, smooth it out. I think I'm going to do that again. It's getting there, but it needs a little more. I know it looks good in the camera. I want it to look better. Whew. That's a relief. There you go. It's all finished, and I hot glued it to a stand so I don't knock it off again. I think it turned out real nice. Mama likes it. Got a tea light inside. It has some beautiful, beautiful colors in it. I'm going to zoom in and show you a little better. Okay. You can actually see the colors better without the tea light. Let me get a flashlight out here. Maybe we can see a little bit better. All right, there you go. You can see all the colors in there now. Finish is pretty good. Nice and shiny. I did see that there's some tool marks on the inside down in here that I didn't get out. Thought I did, but I didn't. Gold, and you know, I poured all different kinds of colors in there. 'Cause I was gonna make it maroon, remember? Didn't have any maroon. Guess I could have looked it up how to make maroon, but I didn't. Anyway, let's see if we can. Anyway, there you are. Tell your friends, call your mama.